Grab your Kool-Aid, Wargamers, because today the crew of the Blackraven is taking on the cult of Sluggard. Here's the man himself right there. The crew of the Blackraven is over here. This is Cobalt 15, a self-aware robot who is on the run from the government. We're going to call them the Kafkocracy because their agent has told Cobalt 15 that he needs to get his hands on the Magic Space Baby and turn this Magic Space Baby over, or else they'll shut him down. If he does it, they'll probably shut him down anyway. So since everything that government does is damned if you do, damned if you don't, we're going to call it the Kafkocracy. He is wounded after his last battle, as is two of his helpers. His brick, if you will, this guy's really good at fighting, except he suffers a -1 die to his attack. This guy is really good at shooting. He suffers a -1 centimeter to movement. And this is Marion the Librarian, the only one who escaped last episode's debacle uninjured. Here is the opposing force. This is the cult that Sluggard is the boss of. And we've got 5 mooks over here. They're not such great shakes. They're all armed with rifles. We have the leader, a hero, right here, who's armed with a couple of pistols. And we have a shooter over here. Oops. And we have timber. We have some rather unstable trees. These guys are the bricks. Now, let me show you, let me reset. I'm going to show you the terrain and what the crew of the Blackraven has to do. Long story short, they've got to find Sluggard and drag him off the table so they can pump him for information. They think he knows or has information on the location of the Magic Space Baby, and they are determined to get it. So this is a scouting mission. The way this is going to work, the crew of the Blackraven is going to start down here, and they've got to go search those 4 HAB modules on the far side of the terrain and find Sluggard. The cult has to stop them. That's it. Let's take a look at how the cult is set up. Since this is an infiltration mission, what I've done is I've put the 5 troopers down around the compound. There's one more right over here. In fact, we'll put them on camera. Until the alarm is raised, they're going to move a random number of centimeters in a random direction, as determined by our fantastic Zolchi Dice randomizer. The number will be the distance, and the arrow will be the direction. So, at the start of their turn, we'll roll a die for each gentleman. So he's going to move 3 centimeters this way and patrol around the building. If one of the heroes appears within 30 centimeters of his front arc, he will sound the alarm. At the first gunfire, the alarm is sounded. On a melee, if the mook can be taken out in a single attack, the alarm will not be sounded. If he survives, he will sound the alarm. When the alarm is sounded, the 2 heavy hitters, the shooter and the leader, will appear at a random location. And we're going to designate we're going to designate the buildings and the roads as our entry points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this road over here is number 6. Once the alarm is sounded, on their next activation, they can come in on one of those locations. As usual, it's hard to say which one of these Sluggard is going to be in, and if you're lucky, you'll find him the first time. So what we're going to do, bang on the door, and on the first one, you're going to make a chance roll. That's roll a 2d6, and since we're playing Void Pirates, a roll of a 4 or better is 1 success, and a roll of 6 is 2 successes. If you can get 2 successes, there he is. On the second one, you only need 1 success. On the third building, you get a chance roll with a reroll, and if you still can't get 1 success after rolling 2d6 with a reroll, then obviously he has to be in the 4th building. So how they go about doing that is up to them. That's it. Let's get started. On further review, we're going to limit everyone's visibility to 20 centimeters. It is a foggy day, and just to give you an idea how far 20 centimeters is from that gentleman there, that's a good, if it's 30, we're barely going to get off the bridge before they're already within sight. So with that said, let's go ahead and do some movement. Now, as I said, old Cobalt 15 And I should point out, the way initiative works is you do alternating activation. So we're actually going to start with our fastest runner, and that's going to be old Marion, who is going to hoof it 4 centimeters to there, and then she's going to race over here another 6 and hope that she is not spotted. Then it's the turn of the cult. So we'll go ahead and start with this guy. We're just going to go straight across the board. We'll start with him. He moves 8 centimeters away from the camera. And that's the way he's looking. He must have heard something off in the distance there. Then we're going to use old Gimpy, gets to move a total of 9, and he's going to come across this way. We'll do this gentleman, who moves 10 centimeters. I guess if he runs into the building, we'll just slide him around. And we'll do a 50-50 to see whether he goes to the left or the right. On a 1, 2, 3, he goes to the left. So that is the way he goes. He's going to creep around this way. And then Cobalt, who normally would move only 3 centimeters, he loses 3 centimeters because he's a heavy dude. And then he loses 1. So he only moves, even when he's running, he's going to move 6 centimeters. Then we'll do this guard. He's going to move 7 centimeters off down the road. That's kind of a lucky break. And finally, Gimpy Rusty moves to there. And we've got 2 more guards. One back here, who is going to move 2 centimeters this way, and one over here, who's going to move, wait, I wanted to start him right there. He's going to move 4. He's going to go have a little confab with that guy. And that's the end of turn 1. Moving on to turn number 2. Once again, we'll start with our technician. Old Marion's going to run over this way. And second verse, same as the first. He must have heard something. He's coming back. Cobalt trundles along at a stately 6. And then this guy moves 7 to the edge of the woods. Woods block line of sight. Buildings do. The pond does not. The rocks over here do block line of sight. Rusty is going to sprint his 6 this way. And then we'll move the guy in the back. He's going to go 4. And Shooter Jim is going to run 9 to the edge of the woods there. We've got these 2 guys left to do. So he goes first, and he must hear something over there. And 5 for this guy to there. That's the end of turn 2. This time we're going to start with Lieutenant Dane. Movement through the woods is only half, so instead of moving his usual 9, he's going to move 4.5 to there. This gentleman over here is going to move 2 to the woods. Rusty can sprint 9 to there. We'll do this guy next. 8 centimeters out to here. Then 6 to there, and then 2 is all she can go, so she dives into the woods. He's going to check this direction. He goes 2.5, so he stops right about there. We need to determine what the visibility is within the woods. Let's go ahead and call it that the visibility is reduced by 10 as well. Fortunately, he's looking off that direction. So you can see through 5 centimeters of woods. Who has yet to go? Old Pokey Cobalt. It's going to move his 6 to there. And then we still have these 2 gentlemen to move. So we'll start with him. He's going to move 5. They are converging. And then he's going to move 8 in that direction. On a 1, 2, 3, he's going to circle left. On a 4, 5, 6, he's going to circle right. So he hits this wall here after 2 centimeters, and he spends his other 6 moving around here. We're going to start off by moving our shooter just 3 centimeters to the edge of the woods. And this guard over there is going to move 5 centimeters away from the action. Then we'll bring Cobalt up his full 6. That's a run move. That's all he can do. This guard is going to move 3 centimeters. He comes out of the woods and decides to go back to his position. Old Rusty is going to move 3 centimeters to there. He's only got 6 left, so he can run another 3 to there, and that's it. Then we'll check him. 1 centimeter, so he moves basically 1 base width forward, but he's looking in the right direction. 20 centimeters only gets visibility to there. And finally, we'll bring up Cobalt, who comes just to the edge of the woods, leaving us with a couple of guards. Guard 1 is going to move 1 base width that way, and guard 2 is going to move 5 over here. So still nobody in line of sight. I want to bring... So he can only move 6 centimeters. When he moves through the woods, he's only going to be able to move at 3 centimeters per turn. That's really unfortunate, because he's the toughest guy they got. But with all these guards over here, I don't see that I have any choice. We're just going to have to slow things down. Let's start with this guard first. He's going to move 5 away. That should be helpful. Then our technician is just going to slide up a little bit. She's going to wait right there in the center of the woods. I'm not even going to measure. We're going to check that guy. He moves 2 centimeters that way. So he's just circling around the building. Then we're going to bring our other punchy boy up to the center of the woods, and we'll check him. He's going to move 4 away. Leaving only him. Oh, he's got a chance. So he's going to sprint across the aisle. That's 6 centimeters. Let's see, it's going to be 2 to get out of the woods, 6 to get across, and then just barely diving in right there. We'll check him. He's going to move 1 base width this way. And I think I moved everybody on this side. Then him. 7 centimeters, so he cycles up that direction. And that's it for that turn. We're going to move up our Gimpy boss man. Let me move this tree out of the way. He's going to slide up to there. They're not going to move at all. We're going to let him take the lead. And that means we'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4 for our guards. He's going to move 2 away. He's going to move 6 away. We're getting some lucky rolls. And this guy is going to move 10 centimeters. Oh, he must have heard him. You know, the game does have hiding tactics. I'm going to start taking advantage of those. Bossman slides up to there, and he's the last to go. He's going to move 5 in the wrong direction. Or the right direction, depending on who you ask. Now, I know what you're thinking. He's facing the right direction, but the line of sight for this, he's actually looking through a good 7 centimeters of woods, which means I'm not going to let him see Lieutenant Dane just yet. There's no line of sight for shooting. There's no line of sight for visibility either, which is going to give Lieutenant Dane an opportunity to use his full movement to slide up to here, staying hidden in the woods. To find out what happens, he moves 2 centimeters. He doesn't want to get through those rocks. Then we're going to move the boss man up, his full movement of 3 centimeters to there. We'll check this guard, who's going to move 10 centimeters. He hears rustling in the woods. He doesn't know where it's from, but it's somewhere around here. That being the case, we are going to start to hide now. Instead of running, he's only going to move 3 centimeters and he's going to hide. And she's going to move 3 centimeters and she's going to hide. Actually, she can move 5 centimeters. So she'll come right up behind the boss man. Just in case one of these guards decides to get a little froggy, he is not. They will stop at the edge of the table. Can't quite see him, but once he hits the edge of the table, he's going to stop and turn around. He's going to wander 4 centimeters back here. And he's going to wander, let me get a better roll there, 7 centimeters off this way. So we have a potential distance here. It's 13 centimeters and then 3.5. So he does have a he doesn't have line of sight because of shooting. It's really going to be an issue once they get to the edge of the forest, I think. That's when all heck is going to break loose. And here's where life gets really interesting for Cobalt. The first thing that's going to happen is Lieutenant Dane is going to move his full 4.5 centimeters to there. And that's as far as he goes. I'll move the trees so you can see how close he is to the edge. He's still within the trees. He still does not have line of sight out. No one has line of sight in. And I'm doing that because of the alternating activation. So he wants, the cultists want to keep him staring this way. Because as soon as somebody moves to the edge of the woods, he will have clear line of sight. So we're going to force them to wait. Start with him. The cultists say, yep, he's going to move, and he moves 3 centimeters this way. So we have the same issue, that he's getting close to being able to see him. She's going to move 3 centimeters up to here, and she's going to hide. We're going to move this one next. And he moves 6 centimeters around behind the building. Then we'll move Rusty 3 centimeters, and he hides right there. We're going to move this guy next. And he moves 1, but he's looking the wrong way. Cobalt's going to pass. He's just not going to move this turn. So that means he's got to go, and he's going to move 7. He's entering the woods. He knows there's something in there. So he moves 4 centimeters, and then he can come in 1.5 centimeters. Now he can start searching the woods. And that means, normally searching is not something you can do when you're sprinting. Since they're moving anywhere from walking speed, from stroll to sprint, they're not actively searching. So what we're going to do is give them a chance roll to spot the nearest person, which would be Cobalt. And on a 3+, he spots Cobalt. No successes. That's going to happen every turn that he's in these woods. Which means he's the last cultist to go. And he's going to run that direction. Will put him 5 and then 10. He's going to be right there. So he's no longer looking the right way. He's looking this way. That complicates matters. To kick things off, Lieutenant Dane is going to move to the edge of the woods and hide right there. So by being hidden, that increases... I don't know, I'm not going to worry about that just yet. Normally, the way the game works is that you do, when somebody tries to search for him, you do an opposed check of 4D versus 4D, 4D versus 6D with somebody with a scanner. But since we're doing things a little bit different here, we'll figure that out if it comes down to it. I don't think it will. The cultist's smart play here is to move this guy next. 2 centimeters, 1, 2, off that way. So he's looking over there. And Cobalt has no choice. He's got to close and combat this guy. He is a mook. And Cobalt has Iron Fists. So he gets 2 rerolls. It's going to be 4 versus 4 on this one. With the difference being that Cobalt 15 gets 2 rerolls. This is a mook, so he's got to beat him by 3. Wait a minute. Does he have... He has a fate pool, so he's going to use his fate dice, both of them, on this attack. Hey, I remember to use the hero's ability. Go me. And if I was smart, which I am... Oh, he does not have that. Okay, so here you go. 6. Count the successes. Our cultist gets a grand total of 4 successes, and our captain gets a grand total of 4 successes to kick things off, but he also gets 2 rerolls. So he gets a total of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Versus 4. So he does 1 point of damage, which is not enough. The alarm is sounded. The big boys are coming on in the next turn. He has 1 hit of damage now. Then again, maybe he does and maybe he doesn't. He is going to take another stab. I don't like using dice to track wounds, but I wasn't thinking when I did this. If I was a little better prepared, I wouldn't have to. That big, strange, mystic die chasing the man around is his wound total. We'll part the trees so you can see our guys a little bit better. He gets a chance to melee attack back. And that's going to be a 4 versus a 4, with the difference being that Cobalt gets 3 rerolls. So here's your die check with Cobalt getting 3 rerolls, and that's going to be 2 hits and 2 defenses. So with nothing else for it, Cobalt has already successfully warded off the attack, which means Rusty is going to leap into the fray. He can move 4.5 centimeters if he charges, which is not enough. So he's not leaping into anything. He's going to survive to sound the alarm, which means Rusty is going to have to get stuck in. He's going to move 6 centimeters to here. No, he's not. He's going to move 6 centimeters to there. And then he's going to use his other 3 centimeters to run. No, he's just going to stop right there. He's got a pistol, doesn't he? He can make a ranged attack. In fact, he's got a boost to that, too. He's going to roll 5 dice. No, he doesn't have a pistol. Everybody's got just a basic pistol. I think. Did I not buy him a pistol? Everybody makes a ranged attack. If you purchase a pistol, you get a reroll. So it's going to be a 4 on 4. He's shooting. Oh, is he shooting? Does he have distance? This game allows you to pre-measure because your boys are heroes. That, oh boy, he might not have range. Oh, he does. He just barely does. So he's going to shoot that guy in the back. 4-on-4 with no rerolls for anybody on this. One success for him, 2 successes for the other guy, means that shot does no good. So he will now fully activate, move to the building, and return fire. That mook fires, he's got a rifle, so he's going to fire with 5 rounds. 5 dice, I should say. And he gets 3 rerolls. On the other hand, because he is in cover, he gets an extra die of his own. So it's 5-on-5 with 3 rerolls for the cultist and 1 for Rusty. So the cultist gets his reroll and he gets 5 successes. Oh, I'm sorry, he gets 2 rerolls. So he gets a lot of successes, 7 successes altogether. Rusty gets 2, 3 successes, and 4 successes, and takes 3 wounds, which means he has to take a death check. He is very tough. He gets 2 extra dice once per game, and those 2 dice do him no good. He's got to make a chance roll and get 3 successes. It's spent. He can't be tough anymore. So he is knocked down, and he needs to make a toughness 4 toughness check. But he's a pretty tough guy, so he gets an extra die on KO checks. And if he passes this, he can stand back up and continue to act. But he got no successes, so he is down, and that's it for him. She already fired. She might be able to help him with a med kit, but that's going to have to wait till later because there are other things at play. With the alarm sounded, he can take a shot. Except he's out of range. No problem. He'll just move his regular 1 to 6, and now he is in range, and he can take a shot at her. Marion has a ranged defense of 4 compared to his shooting skill of 5 with 3 rerolls. So her defense, she gets 3 successes, and he gets 3 successes on his shooting. Hey, you know what? Nothing happens. Oh, he gets 3 rerolls though. So he's going to take these. And man, those rifles are OP. He does 3 points of damage to her. This might be the end of the crew of the Blackraven. So she goes down. She is KO'd, and she's going to make a toughness check of 4. So she needs 4 successes to stand up. And she makes it. She stands up. If she takes 1 more damage, she's out of the fight for good. But we'll deal with that later. All of the Blackraven is gone now. He has not gone. So where's my random movement die? Oh, there's no more random movement because the alarm has sounded. So he's going to... What is he going to do? He's going to move over here. He's going to move into the woods. He's going to move 6 centimeters to there. And he's going to stop. He's going to wait and see what happens. And is that everybody? Nope, there's one more guard back here who needs to do something. And he's going to move 6 centimeters to here. And that's it. He can't make a search check on him because he's not within line of sight. 20 centimeters is what you need because of the effects of the heavy fog. The first thing we need to do is find out where that leader is coming from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is just off the end of that road. So on a 1, 2, 3, he's going to come rushing out of this door on his turn. Let's put him there so we don't forget. The leader will appear there on his turn, and his buddy is going to appear at the end of the road on their activation. So we need to do initiative now, and for that we're going to need 6 dice for each team. Whoever gets the most successes gets to go first. Team Blackraven winds up with a total of 5 successes. Team Cultist winds up with a total of 2, 4, 6 successes. The Cultists get to go first. They're going to go ahead and activate this leader who is going to come rushing out, find out what's going on. And he can make a search check. So he's going to use his free action. We're going to make an opposed roll. It's going to be 4 on 4. And the Blackraven gets 1 success, and he gets 1 success. Ties go to the defender. Our shooter is still hidden. He doesn't have any targets that he can aim at, so she's going to go next. And she's going to use her first aid kit on Rusty. And for that, she's going to roll 6 dice, and against a toughness number of 3. And if she gets it, she heals 1 point. 1, 2, no. On a 3+, she has another chance. She does not with a 3 and a 1. So she tried to heal him back up, and it just didn't work. So he is hurting pretty bad. In the meantime, this shooter is going to move over here, and now he's got line of sight to take a shot at Lieutenant Dane. Lieutenant Dane gets an extra die because he is in cover. That puts him at a total of 8 defensive dice. And our shooter has 8 defensive dice, and he's got 1 reroll. Our shooter is shooting with 3 dice and 3 rerolls. So our shooter gets 1, 2, 4, 5 successes. And with a reroll, he gets another 3 successes. Lieutenant Dane gets 2, 3, 4, 5. He gets 1 reroll, and there's number 6. So it's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 versus 2, 4, 6. Lieutenant Dane takes 2 damage. Lieutenant Dane has a chance now to get revenge, and he's not going to do the typical, he's going to take a kill shot. Now, what a kill shot is, he's going to roll an attack on that guy, he's going to do a chance roll, and with 2 successes, he just takes him right out. There's your 2 successes. So with that, he goes down. That, let's see, he's going to move 6 and take a shot at her. No, he already took a shot at her. He's going to move up and take a shot at her. That's a 5 on 5 because she is in cover. With our cultists getting 3 rerolls, she gets 4 defensive dice. Our cultist gets 2 hits on his original roll, and he has a chance to add to that score. He does not do it, so she escapes from harm on that one. And who's up? Cobalt! is going to start hammering at the guy that he's in contact with. He's going to do 4 with 2 rerolls against a man who gets a straight 4 dice. Those 2 rerolls should make a bit of a difference here. Cobalt scores 2 successes, a 5 and a 4. That was a 5. And then he also gets 2 rerolls because he's smooth like that. Doesn't do him any good, but he doesn't need to do, with no defense, 2 dice is enough to put him down. So that's the end of that trooper. And everybody on Team Blackraven is gone. The only thing left to do is race this shooter up to there. I can't remember if I moved this cultist. He's not going to move. Maybe he's chicken. Maybe I just forgot. Either way, it'll be fine. Time for initiative checks. The cultists get 2 successes. The Blackraven gets 2 successes. We're going to roll off again. No successes for the cultists. 2 successes for the Blackraven. Means Blackraven gets to go first. And they need it. Because he's going to have to take a shot at this hero. That hero has light armor. So he gets 1 reroll. But Lieutenant Dane gets 3 rerolls. It's going to be a 6 versus 4. Blackraven rolling the gold dice. Blackraven gets 1, 2. He gets a lot of successes. 6 altogether. And he still gets 2 rerolls to add to that, which doesn't do him any good. And the leader of the cultists actually gets 2 rerolls to add to his 1 success. So he got a total of 2 successes, so that negates those, and we're looking at a total of 4 damage on him. So he's down, he's only got 2 left. So a great shot, but it's not enough to put him out of the fight, which is what they really need to do here. Because he ain't afraid to get up close and dirty and return fire. Eight defensive dice versus 4 attack dice. So this might be a bit of a mistake, but yeah, you never know. 3 successes for the cultist. Does he get any rerolls? He gets 2 rerolls because of his equipment, so he gets a total of 4 successes. But it's not going to be enough because already, even without any rerolls, there's 4 or 5 defensive successes, and Lieutenant Dane is sitting pretty. We'll see if he can sit pretty for much longer, though. Cobalt has to get out of here, man. He's too dang slow. He can only move 7 centimeters, so he can only move to here this turn. Six. He's still too far away. He's got to do a full run move. He's going to move 6 over to here, looking to get into cover and take a shot at her. No, you know what? She can fade back into the woods to spoil their line of sight, and that's all she's going to do. And then she's going to hide there. That being the case, he's going to sprint forward. And he's going to sprint forward as well. He's got to get into the woods to be able to take a shot at her. I think that's everybody. End of the turn. Moving on. Checking for initiative. That's going to be a total of 6 successes for the cultists. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the crew of the Blackraven. Meaning the cultists get to call the tune. And that means our leader is going to 10 centimeters. You can't make it. You know, he's going to wait. he's going to wait until this shooter comes up even and takes a shot at 13 centimeters. There's no bonuses. So Lieutenant Dane is still sitting on a whopping 8 dice for his defense. But now he's getting shot at by a shooter, which means he's getting shot at by 6 dice with 3 rerolls. Shooters with rifles are pretty rough. The shooter gets a total of 1 success on that roll. With 3 rolls, he manages to boost that up to 3 successes. But Dane is already on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even without his rerolls, nothing happens. Lieutenant Dane is not going to have any of that. And he's going to return fire, but he's going to shoot at the leader, who is down to just 2. Is that right? Is that the way he wants to do that? Or is he going to return fire at this guy? We're going to shoot at the leader, because the leader's got a lower defense rating. So 6 dice versus 4 dice, with 1 reroll and 3 rerolls. So with the reroll, that was a 5. With the reroll, we got 3 defensive dice, and we got 2, 4, 5, and 6. And with the 2 rerolls, we get another one. So that was 3 defensive dice versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 versus 3, that puts him down. He's got to make his KO check to see if he stands back up. And that's a toughness number of 4. He does not make it. He only gets 3 successes, so he is knocked out. We got these 2 guys left to go. Let's charge. 5 centimeters away. He's going to close to hand-to-hand combat with the lovely Miss Marion, who... This is just going to be a straight 4 versus 4, isn't it? Yep. 4 versus 4. Nothing special. No rerolls. Just a straight 4 on 4. She manages to come up with 4 defensive dice. He does 5. He does 1 more point of damage, which knocks her out. What an unfortunate turn of events. Cobalt is going to sprint as fast as his stubby little legs will take him around to here. So he'll move 6 to take a shot at Cobalt. He's rolling 6 attack dice with 3 rerolls, and he gets a total of... Oh, that's not good. Not good for Cobalt. This might be the end of the Blackraven. Fortunately, Cobalt, against shooting, gets 4 dice with 2 rerolls. But he is going to be hard-pressed to survive this one. 2 successes negates those. He does get 2 rerolls. So that negates that one, and he takes a grand total of 3 hits. As a hero, he can take it. One, 2, 3. He's still got 3 left. And the last of the cultists is going to raise his ugly head. Hey, come on, get into the action. His leader inspires him and he runs up there. Forgot about him hiding back there. That's the end of the turn. Moving on. It's time for initiative, which is your standard 6v6. No, the leader is down. The leader is down. The cultists only roll 4 dice to see if they go first, and they get a total of 3 successes against Cobalt's analytical warbot brain computer says I can get 4 successes, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes, and I get to go first, which means I get to charge on my stubby little legs. I don't. He's going to move 3 centimeters and take a shot at this guy. That's going to be 4 attack dice against 5 defense dice. we get 6 successes on the defender, and he gets no rerolls. But Cobalt gets 2 rerolls. So he does 4 versus 4. One of the things that a hero can do, however, when he has 2 or fewer allies, he can take a second activation once per game. He's going to go ahead and do that right now, and that means he can close with this fine cultist gentleman and proceed to congratulate him by beating him about the head with his fists. As a melee attack, that's going to be 4 dice with 2 rerolls versus a straight 4 dice for the cultist. So our leader gets 1 with 2 rerolls. 2 3 hits. And the other guy gets 2 defenses for 1 point of damage. And I do believe that's the end of the turn. So let's roll up some initiative. What do you say? Just kind of turned into a general scrum. Cobalt was hoping to do a lot more damage and knock out a few more guys before the alarm was sounded, or maybe get a little bit closer, but you know, those troopers are a lot tougher than you realize. Hand them a rifle, and man, they do some serious damage. We're doing an initiative check here, and Cobalt only gets 3 successes to the 3 successes for... No, he gets 4 successes. Good for him. So Cobalt gets to go first. He's already used his 2 attacks. He's going to... Cobalt's got to try and put this guy down, because once he closes, that extra die is going to be very bad news for even an impressive war droid like Cobalt. 4 versus 4 for the melee, and Cobalt gets a pair of rerolls, and that's it for the rerolls. 4 successes versus 4 successes. So this is going to determine the amount of blamage. 6, he did his 2, he puts him down. Good job, Cobalt. A very good job. We're going to fire here first. But before we do, that's 10. He's going to move up to here. So he gets 1 extra die on his attack because he is at close range. I haven't been doing that, by the way. If you shoot at a guy within 10 centimeters, you get an extra attack die. So he's going to be firing with 7 dice altogether. I don't have 7 white dice. Okay, we'll use the red one too. And our woodsman is going to be defending with a total of 8 dice. So, attacker rolling first. He gets 3 rerolls, so those 1s are going to disappear and turn 6 successes into 8 successes. So 8 on the defense, 8 on the attack, and what do we get for the defense? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the defense. With any rerolls? Boy, I hope you get some rerolls there, buddy boy. He gets 1. And he gets 2 successes. So he takes 1 point of damage, which he really needs. No, I forgot he had taken 2. He is knocked out. He's got to make his KO check with a toughness number 4, which he passes. So he continues to operate, continues to act, which is great because he is going to return fire against that shooter. He's going to roll 6 versus 6. 3 rerolls for the attacker. So gold dice for the Blackraven. We got an old-fashioned gunfight going here. 3 successes for him. And Lieutenant Dane gets 5 successes already, With a couple of rerolls, he gets 6 successes. That's 3. That puts him down. He's got to make a toughness check to stay on his feet. Toughness number 4, 1 success is not going to do it. So he goes down as well. Oh my goodness, how the tide has turned. 6 centimeters, taking a shot at medium range. That's going to be 6 versus 8. He's got to try. He's got to try. So our attacker gets a pretty good roll, actually. He gets, he's only going to take advantage of 2 rerolls. So there is a 5. So he gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. Compared to, oh my goodness. That's a lot of success. That's a lot of 6s. Lieutenant Dane knows how to hide in the woods. We're done over there. He took a shot. That means, and he already did his fight, that means the last guy to go is going to be him. And he's going to race and charge into combat there. Oh, I forgot. When you charge into combat, you get an extra die. So that's going to be 5 attack dice versus 4 defense dice. Defender gets, wow, 2, 4, 6 successes compared to 1 success. So that's it. That charge did you no good. Don't even feel bad for you, buddy. With the leader down, they only get to roll 4 for initiative to get 4 successes. Cobalt is going to get 3 successes, meaning he gets to move up and take the first shot. He's going to roll 5 attack dice. He is at close range, so he's going to roll a 6th attack dice. And he's going to re-roll these 3. So he got 3 hits. Turns into 5 hits. And we'll see what Lieutenant Dane can manage here on his defensive. Oh, I'm sorry, he actually gets 8. So there's one more. So 5 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Defender is okay. And a little bit mad. He says, oh, hey there, Mook. You think you're tough? Let's see how you like a face full of blaster. Oh, sorry, Dane. Getting a little too excited there, aren't you, fella? That's going to be 6 successes. Oh, 6 successes on these dice, and he only gets 2 rerolls, so that's a total of 7 successes. And Mr. Man is only going to get 2 successes. He doesn't get any rerolls, so 7 minus 2 is 5 points of damage. You go Betty by 2. Good news is you get to attack Cobalt and see what happens. Oh, it's just a simple 4-on-4. The difference being that Cobalt gets a couple of rerolls. Where's that 4th die? There's number 6. Cobalt gets 2, 4, 6 successes compared to 2 for him. And now it's Cobalt's turn to attack to close things out. 4 versus 4, as per usual, with Cobalt getting 2 rerolls. So he only got 2 successes, but that's okay, because he can turn those 2 successes into 2 successes. The guy he's fighting gets 2 successes as well. And that's the end of the turn. So we will check for initiative, and then we got to figure out what Lieutenant Dane is going to do. Does he limp on over, or does he just start checking buildings? There's your initiative check with 2 successes for Mr. Cultist and a lot for him. So we're just going to go ahead and start things off with Cobalt making that first attack. 4 dice versus 4 dice. Cobalt only gets 1 success. His opponent only gets 1 success, but Cobalt has the gift of rerolls, and he gets 2 more successes, which puts him down to 2 wounds. So he's only got 1 left. But having 1 left is enough to attack back. And what an attack it is. 4 hits versus, oh, wait a minute, versus 2 defenses. So Cobalt takes 2 points of defense. 2 points, I'm sorry, 2 points of vitality. He only has 1 left. How fast does Lieutenant Dane run? 7 centimeters. He is a good 3 turns away. So what do you do, Lieutenant Dane? I think you're just going to have to close up. You got to try. You're getting in the way of my dice rolling area. That's not cool. And that's all he can do. He's not going to shoot into the combat. So we are back to rolling for initiative. And 4 successes versus 3 successes. No surprise, Cobalt uses his analytical microchips to realize that what he needs to do is kick that man in the fork before that man kicks him. So we get down to the usual. That's going to be 6 successes for the defender and only 2 successes for the attacker, which gives the defender time to attack back. The attacker gets no successes, so that's it for that. Lieutenant Dane continues to hobble on over at 7 centimeters per turn, and we move on to the next turn. I told you it's a regular slugging match. Let's see who gets to slug the other guy first. And the cultist doesn't get any successes, so he's going to have to wait for Cobalt to take the first swing. 2 defensive dice versus 4 successes, and 1 extra reroll gives us 2 more. So the 4 versus 6 means we do 2, but he's only got 1 left, so he goes down. And wonder of wonders, unless I missed something here, I feel like there's a cultist that got away from me. There should be 7 of them, and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, look at that! They did fantastic. So, with everything done, Cobalt, no matter the fact that he's limping, and Lieutenant Dane can go knock on doors, and they can pull Mr. Sluggard out and escort him off the field of battle, victorious, unlike last time. We've got 2 men down. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought that at the opening of this ceremonies, things were going to go really bad for the crew of the Blackraven, but they managed to pull it out in the end with some fantastic shooting by Lieutenant Dane, whose bravery to hide in the woods and pick his shots carefully really made all the difference in the world. I think he took out a total of 4 of the 7 warriors. And then, of course, Cobalt might not be particularly good at any one thing, but he might not be great at any one thing, but he's good at everything. So he is very much a bit of a utility infielder. One last note before we close things out today. For those of you that haven't seen these battle reports, I will put together another episode where we go through the post-battle campaign portion of this game using 5 parsecs from home. All I can tell you is that they were successful, and these 2 fine men were able to generate a couple of extra experience points. They were only knocked out, so we'll do some death checks for them. One last note on terrain. To make things a little bit different, I went ahead, I found these weird, I think this is like Easter egg kind of things. You're probably aware of these. And just to kind of mix things up a little bit and make some science fiction hab modules, I went ahead and painted a door and some windows, and it's a little bit rough, but it is a little bit different, and it does make things a little different, so you're not always looking at my, oh, surprise, I store my stuff inside my buildings. But that way I thought, it'll look a little, these are about the right size, and it looks a little bit different, so it kind of mixes things up. And it took me a grand total of maybe 5 minutes to paint these up. I wish I had a few more, because you'll be seeing them again in the future. In the meantime, you're going to have to wait a little while to see what happens to poor old Marion, who took her first wound today, and whether Mr. Gimp is going to be extra gimpy for the next round. I can tell you that he's pumped full of information. He's a little confused that Marion didn't find any information from the font of knowledge last time. But what he doesn't know is that rather than ask about the magic space baby, you know, she's not in her 30s. She is in her early 20s. So she is not thinking about getting a baby as fast as possible. She's thinking about getting a man. So she wanted to get a glimpse of who her one true love is. And that's not me that made that up. That's the dice. That's just the way the rolls came up. He's motivated by survival, he's motivated by money, and she is motivated by the hunt for her one true love. Let's hope she doesn't die, because I don't know what that would mean. But we'll figure it out next time. Tune in for the next thrilling interlude of the adventures of the starship Blackraven. Until then, thanks for watching. Have a great night. Have a great day. Have a great morning. Whatever time of day it is. Have a great one, and we'll see you next time. God bless you.